Shortly after the protest, Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan ordered action against Congress protesters in Bhopal, and a case related to disobeying the order of a public servant has been registered. Chief Minister in a tweet said, and I quote, "MP represents peace. Action will be taken against anyone trying to disturb peace in the state." Well, so this is information just coming in here on Mirror Now, where the Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister has made his comment on the anti-Macron protests, saying that these protests will not be tolerated and action will be taken against Congress protesters, since a case is made out to be one of disobeying the orders of a public servant, and that case is now registered against the protesters. The Chief Minister says in a tweet, "Madhya Pradesh represents peace. Action will be taken against anyone trying to disturb peace." So this level of protest is being dealt with an iron hand in the state of Madhya Pradesh, where the Chief Minister himself has put out a strongly worded message on Twitter saying protesters will face action since the state represents peace, and anyone trying to disturb that peace will have to face action on the part of the state. So Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan has ordered action against Congress protesters. Remember, protests have broken out in the capital Bhopal against the comments made by the French president on the Prophet and on the issue of allowing cartoons of the Prophet to be published. Protests have erupted in the state of Madhya Pradesh, especially in Bhopal. Pictures running on your screens of the huge gathering of protesters. Now, the Chief Minister says that these are protesters of the Congress party, and such protests cannot be allowed to take place. He said that the state is one that stands for peace, and any attempt to disrupt peace will be dealt with an iron hand. Bhopal police files a case against protesters as well, and a case related to disobeying order of a public servant has been registered. Govind joining me on the phone line. So Govind, it's not just the Chief Minister sent a message, there's been also action immediately taken in terms of registering a case against protesters for disobeying public servant.
Yeah, absolutely. That is why CM Shivraj Singh Chauhan clearly hinted that if anybody tries to just try to communal harmony to disturb, then the strict action would be taken. And you know that whatever the episode is going on there in France, where a teacher was murdered, who was showing the cartoon of Paigambar Muhammad, then after this kind of controversy created from there. And now you know that it's quite antagonistic that on the one hand, India is supporting to France. On the other, the Congress leaders led by MLA Arif Masood, who is from Bhopal, the Congress MLA protested against France, and also the picture of France president was touched by the Muslim people in Iqbal Maidan. So this is what we can understand, that Shivraj Singh Chauhan has just taken the cognizance, and it was hundreds and thousands of people gathering. That's why in Pandemic Act the case has been registered against the Congress MLA and few others. So this is what we can understand, that Shivraj Singh Chauhan has clearly hinted that nobody will be allowed for deforming the communal harmony in Madhya Pradesh.
All right, thanks for joining us, Govind, with that update. Well, just to give our viewers a bit of context of what exactly has happened, these are protests, remember, where people are coming out to object to French President Emmanuel Macron's stand on allowing cartoons of Prophet Muhammad to be published if a person so desires. In fact, the earlier cartoons that created a lot of controversy were republished by the same publication, and that was something that the president said should be allowed. Now, those comments have sparked off major protests. Protests against French president has gathered momentum in India, with members of the Muslim community staging protests against Emmanuel Macron over his stand on the depiction of Prophet Muhammad. Protests were seen in Mumbai and Bhopal. In Mumbai, posters of French president have been pasted on toilets and on the streets by Raza Academy, while in Bhopal, Congress demanded that the union government ask the French ambassador to register his protest against French president's anti-Muslim stand. Congress protesters accused the French president of intentionally hurting sentiments of Muslims by supporting the offensive cartoons of Prophet Muhammad.